New Rochelle, rə̂ʃɛl, is a city in Westchester County, New York, United States, in the southeastern portion of the state. In 2007, the city had a population of 73,260, making it the seventh largest in the state of New York. As of the 2010 census, the city's population had increased to 77,062. In 2008, New Rochelle was recognized by the American Podiatric Medical Association as one of the 100 best walking cities in the United States, and the second best in New York State after nearby New York City. In November 2008, Business Week magazine listed New Rochelle as the best city in New York State, and one of the best places nationally to raise children. In 2014, New Rochelle was voted the 13th best city to live in out of 550 cities, and was the only city in Westchester County on the list. History, etymology and early history. The European settlement was started by refugee Huguenots in 1688, who were fleeing religious persecution in France after the revocation by the king of the Edict of Nantes. Many of the settlers were artisans and craftsmen from the city of La Rochelle, France, thus influencing the choice of the name of New Rochelle. 17th century, some 33 families established the community of La Nouvelle Rochelle in 1688. A monument containing the names of these settlers stands in Hudson Park, the original landing point of the Huguenots. 31 years earlier, the Saguanoy Indians, a band of Algonquin-speaking Lenape, sold their land to Thomas Pell. In 1689, Pell officially deeded 6,100 acres for the establishment of a Huguenot community. Jacob Leisler is an important figure in the early histories of both New Rochelle and the nation. He arrived in America as a mercenary in the British Army, and later became one of the most prominent merchants in New York. He was subsequently appointed acting governor of the province, and it was during this time that he acted on behalf of the Huguenots. Of all the Huguenot settlements in America founded with the intention of being distinctly French colonies, New Rochelle most clearly conformed to the plans of its founders. The colony continued to attract French refugees until as late as 1760. The choice of name for the city reflected the importance of the city of La Rochelle and of the new settlement in Huguenot history and distinctly French character of the community. French was spoken, and it was common practice for people in neighboring areas to send their children to New Rochelle to learn the language. 18th century, in 1775, General George Washington stopped in New Rochelle on his way to assume command of the Army of the United Colonies in Massachusetts. The British Army briefly occupied sections of New Rochelle and Larchmont in 1776. Following British victory in the Battle of White Plains, New Rochelle became part of a neutral ground for General Washington to regroup his troops. After the Revolutionary War ended in 1784, Patriot Thomas Paine was given a farm in New Rochelle for his service to the cause of independence. The farm, totaling about 300 acres, had been confiscated from its owners by state of New York due to the Tory activities. The first national census of 1790 shows New Rochelle with 692 residents. 136 were African American, including 36 who were freemen and the remainder slaves. 19th century. Through the 18th century, New Rochelle had remained a modest village that retained an abundance of agricultural land. During the 19th century, however, New York City was a destination from the mid-century on by waves of immigration, principally from Ireland and Germany. More established American families left New York City and moved into this area. Although the original Huguenot population was rapidly shrinking in relative size, through ownership of land, businesses, banks, and small manufactures, they retained a predominant hold on the political and social life of the town. The 1820 census showed 150 African Americans residing in New Rochelle, 6 of whom were still slaves. The state had abolished slavery by a gradual plan. Children of slave mothers were born free and all slaves were freed by 1827. In 1857 the village of New Rochelle was established within the borders of the town of New Rochelle. A group of volunteers created the first fire service in 1861. In 1899, a bill creating the New Rochelle City Charter was signed by Governor Theodore Roosevelt. It was through this bill that the village and town of New Rochelle were joined into one municipality. In 1899, Michael J. Dillon narrowly defeated Hugh A. Harmer to become New Rochelle's first mayor. A recently established city charter designated a board of aldermen as the legislative unit, with 2 members to be elected from each of 4 wards, and 10 elected from the city at large. Modern history. 20th and 21st centuries. By 1900, New Rochelle had a population of 14,720. Throughout the city, farms, estates, and wooded homesteads were bought up by realty and development companies. Planned residential neighborhoods such as Rochelle Park, one of the first planned communities in the country, soon spread across the city, earning New Rochelle the sobriquet "City of Homes." In 1909, Edwin Thanhouser established Thanhouser Film Corporation. Thanhouser's $1 Million Mystery was one of the first serial motion pictures. In 1923, New Rochelle resident Anna Jones became the first African-American woman to be admitted to the New York State Bar. Poet and resident James J. Montague captured the image of New Rochelle in his 1926 poem, Queen City of the Sound. In 1930, New Rochelle recorded a population of 54,000, up from 36,213 only 10 years earlier. During the 1930s, New Rochelle was the wealthiest city per capita in New York State and the 3rd wealthiest in the country. By the end of the century, the Metro-North Railroad station was rebuilt along with the $190 million entertainment complex, nicknamed New Rock City, which features a 19-screen movie theater, an IMAX theater, an indoor ice hockey arena, mini-golf, go-karts, an arcade, restaurants, a hotel, loft apartments and a mega supermarket. The complex was built on the site of the former New Rochelle Mall, which had opened in 1968. Geography. New Rochelle is located at the southeastern point of continental New York State. It lies on the Long Island Sound, bordered on the west by Pelham, Pelham Manor and Eastchester, by Scarsdale to the north and east, and Mamaroneck and Larchmont to the east. The city lies 2 miles north of the New York City border. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 13.2 square miles. The city has a rough triangle shape, approximately 10 miles from north to south and 1.5 miles from east to west at its widest point. Demographics. As measured by the census of 2000, New Rochelle had a population of 72,182 people, 24,275 occupied households, and 17,546 families residing in the city. The population density was 6,973.5 people per square mile. There were 26,995 housing units at an average density of 2,608.0 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 68% white, 19% African American, 0.20% Native American, 4% Asian, 0.05% Pacific Islander, 6% from other races, and 3% from two or more races. 20% of the population were Hispanic or Latino of any race. In the city, the population was spread out with 24.0% under the age of 18, 8.7% from 18 to 24, 29.5% from 25 to 44, 22.2% from 45 to 64, and 15.5% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 37 years. For every 100 females there were 90.7 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 85.9 males. There were 26,189 households, out of which 32.7% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 50.5% were married couples living together. 12.5% had a female householder with no husband present, and 33.0% were non-families. 28.0% of all households were made up of individuals, and 11.8% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.68 and the average family size was 3.29. 19,312 residents of New Rochelle were enrolled in school, with 2,743 in preschool or kindergarten, 8,105 in elementary school, 3,704 in high school, and 5,030 in college or graduate school. Out of 42,872 individuals over the age of 25, 20% had no high school diploma, 23% were high school graduates, 14% achieved some level of college education, 5% held an associate degree, 19% held a bachelor's degree, and 20% possessed a graduate or other advanced degree. The working population was 35,262, 95.7% of whom were employed. The occupational breakdown had 42% working in management, 25% working in sales, 17% in services, 8% in construction, and 7% in production and transport. The average daily commute was 30 minutes, with 60% driving to work, 12% carpooling, 18% traveling via public transportation, and 7% using other means. According to the 2007 Census Bureau estimates, the median income for a household in the city was $64,756, and the median income for a family was $88,004. About 9.8% of the population lived below the poverty line. Residential profile. New Rochelle is commonly referred to as the hometown because of the significant amount of single-family residential development that exists throughout most of the city, while the formerly industrial downtown section is more densely developed, with condominiums, high-rises, offices, shopping centers, affordable housing complexes, a medical center, nursing homes, 2 college college campuses and an intermodal transportation hub. The rest of the city consists of sprawling residential neighborhoods. There are more than 11,500 single-family units within the city, more than that of neighboring Larchmont, Mamaroneck and Scarsdale combined. The total number of separate households surpasses 26,000, more than that of neighboring Pelham, Pelham Manor, Eastchester, Scarsdale, Mamaroneck and Larchmont combined. Housing variety. Some of the country's most expensive real estate can be found in New Rochelle. The north end of the city is ranked in Forbes magazine's list of the 500 most expensive zip codes in the country. According to the list, the average household income was $199,061 and the average home price was over $752,000. Homes in Premium Point, a gated section of the city on Long Island Sound, are priced anywhere from $2 to $20 million. The three newest residential developments, Kensington Woods, The Greens at Cherry Lawn, and Riviera Shores, are all gated communities with single-family homes priced from $2 million. With a population approaching 80,000 residents, New York state law dictates that the city provide an adequate amount of affordable housing units. New Rochelle has historically met and surpassed state requirements. It is working to replace the existing Wayman Avenue projects with more community-centered townhouse-style housing units. By embracing the needs of the poor, New Rochelle sets a precedent for other suburban communities to follow. Neighboring towns, including Mamaroneck, Larchmont and Scarsdale, have failed to meet the minimal affordable housing requirements set by the state. Popular consensus is that the presence of the poor precludes that of the middle class and the wealthy. Considering the large number of working-class and affordable housing units found downtown, the high property values prevalent throughout most of the city reflects the true economic diversity of New Rochelle. It is home to a range of families, from the financially disadvantaged to the very wealthy. One of the wealthiest people in the United States, according to Forbes magazine, was longtime New Rochelle resident and businessman Sidney Frank. Communities within the greater city borders are many established neighborhoods and subsections, several of which are larger in both size and population than neighboring towns of Larchmont, Bronxville and Pelham Manor. The public community areas most noted include Bayberry, Beachmont, Bloomingdale Estates, Bonnie Crest, Daisy Farms, Davenport Neck, Echo Manor, Forest Heights, Forest Knolls, French Ridge, Glen Island, Glenwood Lake, Heathcote, Lake Isle, Larchmont Woods, Lincroft, Northfield, Northridge, Payne Heights, Pine Brick, Premium Manor, Quaker Ridge, Residence Park, Rochelle Heights, Sans Souci, Scarsdale Downs, Shore Road, Sutton Manor, Van Eyck Estates, Ward Acres, Wilmot Woods and Wickergill. Premium Point, Kensington Woods and Cherry Lawn are gated neighborhoods accessible only by those immediate residents. Government. Since 1932, New Rochelle has operated under a council-manager form of government. The city manager is the chief administrative officer of the city, selected to carry out the directives of the council. The manager monitors the city's fiscal condition and enforces its ordinances and laws. The city manager is involved in the discussion of all matters coming before council yet has no final vote. The city council is the legislative body consisting of the mayor and 6 council members. The mayor serves as the presiding officer of the council. Since 1993, the city has had 6 council districts, with 1 council member elected from and by each district. The council functions to set policy, approve the annual budget, appoint the city manager and city clerk, and enact local laws, resolutions and ordinances. Crime statistics. According to the New Rochelle Police Department, New Rochelle is the safest city of its size in New York State and the fifth safest city of its size in the United States. The majority of crimes committed within New Rochelle are non-violent property crimes, including burglary, larceny, theft, motor vehicle theft, and arson. Property crime, on a scale of 1 to 10, is 4 compared to the U.S. average of 3. Violent crime is 3, equal to the U.S. average. Landmarks and attractions. Columbia Island, a small island square situated between David's Island and Pea Island. Up until 1940 it was known as Little Pea Island. CBS purchased it and built a concrete foundation to support a transmitter building topped by a 410-foot-tall antenna tower for WCBS-AM. The transmitter remained in operation until the 1960s, when the station was moved to nearby High Island. Execution Rock's Lighthouse, centered in the middle of Long Island Sound, just south of David's Island. The structure was built in 1849 and includes a 55-foot-tall tower and the keeper's house. It is rumored that the lighthouse's site got its name before the American Revolutionary War, when British colonial authorities executed people by chaining them to the rocks at low tide and allowing the rising water to drown them. In reality, the name was chosen to reflect the historically dangerous shipping area created by the rock's exposure during low tides. Huckleberry Island, a 10-acre island owned by the Huckleberry Indians, Inc., a club within the New York Athletic Club. The island is an important nesting site for water birds such as egrets and night herons. Leland Castle, a 19th-century Gothic Revival castle built as the summer residence of Simeon Leland, a wealthy New York City hotel entrepreneur. It has since been acquired by the College of New Rochelle and is used as an art gallery available to the public. St. John's Wilmot Church, a historic Episcopal parish located in the northern end of the city at the intersection of North Avenue and Wilmot Road, formerly referred to as Cooper's Corner. Thomas Paine Historical Site, a historical nexus within the city. The site comprises the country home of the American pamphleteer and Revolutionary War hero Thomas Paine, his burial site, monument, and a museum. Paine's cottage was built in 1793 and is a National Historic Landmark. The Thomas Paine Memorial Building, built in 1925, houses the library and museum collection of the Thomas Paine National Historical Association. Also on the site is the Brewster Schoolhouse, one of the oldest structural relics in Westchester County. Trinity Street, Paul's Episcopal Church, added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2006. It is located at the northwest corner of Huguenot Street and Division Street. This church represents the body of the majority group of New Rochelle's founding Huguenot French Calvinistic congregation that conformed to the liturgy of the established Church of England in June 1709. King George III gave Trinity its first charter in 1762. After the Revolutionary War, Trinity became a parish of the Protestant Episcopal Church of America. Parks and recreation. Waterfront. The shoreline within the city of New Rochelle measures 2.7 miles, but due to many irregularities and offshore islands, the actual length of the waterfront is 9.3 miles. The unusual coastal features have over the years earned it the nickname, the Queen City of the Sound. Yacht, sailing and rowing clubs dot the coast on Long Island Sound, and beach clubs line the shores of Davenport Neck. Beckwither Point, the Green Tree Country Club and the Surf Club are the largest of the private shore clubs, providing waterfront recreation to members during the summer season. The New York Athletic Club sits on Travers Island, located on the border of New Rochelle and Pelham Manor. Echo Bay Yacht Club and Huguenot Yacht Club are two well-known, private yacht clubs in the city. New York Sailing School and New Rochelle Rowing Club each have have histories dating back over 100 years. The city operates a large marina with 300 slips and 150 mooring spaces. Parks. The city has an impressive collection of parklands and nature preserves, with 102.5 acres of inland waters, 231.51 acres of public parklands and 168 acres of parklets. Glen Island. In 1879, John H. Sterron, a former U.S. congressman and New York transportation king, bought 5 islands which he named Glen Island, and created perhaps the first theme park open to the public. His 12 steamboats transported millions of New York residents and others to the attractions, which included a zoo, a natural history museum, a railway, a German beer garden, a bathing beach, and a Chinese pagoda. Today the park is a 105-acre island property connected to the mainland by a drawbridge built in the 1920s. One of the main features of the park is its pristine, crescent-shaped beach offering access to Long Island Sound. 5 Islands Park is a series of islands connected by small footbridges and pathways. Offers playground, sports, hiking and camping facilities for all residents to enjoy. Hudson Park encompasses 13 acres along the city's harbor front and includes a beach for residents, the city boathouse, greenhouses, the shore station of the United States Coast Guard and several yacht and rowing clubs. The park is traditionally accepted as the original landing place of the Huguenot settlers. A granite boulder with bronze tablets commemorates the event. David's Island, a 78-acre island of the coast of the city, is being transformed from a former American military base into a park and environmental preserve. Beginning just after the Civil War, the island was a military base used to protect New York harbors. During World War I, it served as an army recruitment station, and up until 1967, it maintained various Cold War facilities. Today it is home to a variety of plants, birds, and animals. These include the endangered Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, and rare birds such as osprey and least terns. David's Island also supports valuable wetlands, rare rocky intertidal areas, and sandy beaches. The waters surrounding the island are home to winter flounder, Atlantic herring, and Atlantic silversides. Ward Acres, located in the north end, is a combination of untouched forest, wild lawns and meadows, acres of hiking, exercise trails and historic horse stables, cemeteries. In 2007, the Westchester County Department of Conservation produced a natural resource management plan in order to identify and protect the natural resource needs of the park. It encompasses 62 acres, with the forest divided into 4 main sections, each distinct in both general characteristics and species presence. It's formed by a portion of a former private state that contained a horse farm, and by an old railroad right-of-way. It includes a 3-acre fenced-in dog run, and it is the only park in the city in which residents can walk a dog without a leash. The Leather Stocking Trail is a 2-mile-long, intermunicipal hiking trail situated between New Rochelle and Mamaroneck, eventually linking into Saxon Woods County Park. It is part of a larger, Colonial Greenway Trail, in which it connects to Twin Lakes Nature Study and Saxon Woods Parks. Sheldrake Lake, which formerly served as a reservoir supplying the area's drinking water, is now a 60-acre park in Nature Conservancy, promoting an increased understanding of the local ecology. Twin Lakes Park, combined with the adjacent Nature Study Woods, comprise 220 acres of woods, marsh, lakes, ponds and some fields along the Hutchinson River in New Rochelle's north end. There are many foot trails weaving through woods, marshlands, fields and around 2 large lakes. Golf. Westchester Country Club is located in the Westchester section of New Rochelle on North Avenue just south of Quaker Ridge Road. Golf Week magazine ranks Westchester as one of America's top 100 classic courses. Pelham Country Club straddles the border of New Rochelle and Pelham Manor. The course is a mile from the Westchester, New York City border and Pelham Bay Park. Tennis. New Rochelle Tennis Club, located in Westchester, is one of the oldest lawn tennis organizations in the country. Education. Public. The city is served by the City School District of New Rochelle, which operates a public high school, 2 junior high schools and 10 elementary schools. On 7 separate occasions, the city's schools have received the prestigious Blue Ribbon Award from the U.S. Department of Education. New Rochelle High School is one of the most diverse high schools in the country. The student body represents over 60 different countries from around the world. The school offers over 240 courses including honors, research and advanced placement courses. Libraries are operated by the New Rochelle Public Library System, which is part of the county-wide Westchester Library System. Private primary and secondary. Hudson Montessori, private Montessori school in Westchester serving pre-kindergarten level through 5th grade. Iona Grammar, all-boys Catholic grammar school on Stratton Road serving grades 1 through 8. Iona Preparatory School, all-boys Catholic school serving grades kindergarten through 12. Mount Tom Day School, private day school serving pre-K level through 2nd grade. The school is housed in the mansion of renowned 20th-century American artist and illustrator J.C. Leyendecker. The school bordered New Rochelle Academy, a prep school that closed down in 1987. The Thornton Donovan School, co-ed preparatory school in Beachmont. The Ursuline School, all-girls Catholic school in Westchester serving grades 6 through 12. Salesian High School, all-boys Roman Catholic high school. Higher education. The College of New Rochelle, the largest women's Catholic college in the United States, founded by the Sisters of the Ursuline Order. Iona College, Catholic college founded by the Congregation of Christian Brothers. Monroe College provides professional, career-oriented and business-centered education. Miscellaneous education. The Japanese Weekend School of New York, a Japanese weekend school, has its offices in New Rock City and New Rochelle. As of 2006, the school had about 800 students, including Japanese citizens and Japanese Americans, at locations in Westchester County and Long Island.